10 free games on Steam, and I'd bet money you've only actually played 2 or 3 of these. Let's start with action, the finals. Buildings collapse mid-fight, walls disappear, cover gets destroyed in real time, so no 2 matches ever play the same. The community's genuinely split on this one. Plenty of players have real complaints about balance and matchmaking, and there was even a moment where fans publicly asked people to stop review bombing it over a mode change. But almost everyone agrees on one thing. The movement and the destruction tech feel like nothing else on Steam right now. Warframe. This one's been getting free content updates for over a decade straight, and it still doesn't feel finished, in a good way. The movement system, sliding, wall running, bullet jumping, is smoother than most $60 action games, and it's a big reason the game's kept a loyal community this long. Conqueror's Blade. You're not just fighting here, you're commanding an entire army. Sieges with up to 30 players, siege towers, cavalry charges, full-scale medieval warfare, and somehow the whole thing costs nothing to play. Now the deep ones, the games that'll actually eat your whole weekend. Guild Wars 2. You can put in over 100 hours of real campaign content before the game even asks you to consider spending money. And that's not an exaggeration. That's roughly what the community consistently reports. Path of Exile. One of the most mechanically complex action RPGs that exists, free or paid, and years after launch, its community is still active enough to keep the game evolving. Where Winds Meet. A full MMORPG campaign with real boss fights, built specifically so you can play the entire thing solo if multiplayer isn't your thing. Now for the ones almost nobody talks about, and honestly, these are the ones that surprised me the most. Helltaker. You can finish it in under an hour, but it's stuck with people way longer than that. Grid-based puzzles, fully hand-drawn art, an original soundtrack people still listen to years later outside the game, made by basically one small dev team who turned it into a cult hit with zero marketing budget. Just word of mouth. Grimm's Hollow. Short, completely free, and it deals with grief and acceptance with more emotional weight than games I've paid $60 for. Gravitas. Genuinely one of the most underrated puzzle games on the entire platform, and I still don't understand how it stayed this under the radar. And closing it out, Once Human. A survival game with a massive open map, huge boss encounters, base building, and production value that has no business being free. 10 games, $0. Tell me which one you're downloading tonight.